Oh, that's cool. What's up, people? I think I'm on here. Let me just double check. Ain't nobody here, anyways. You know what I mean? So I ain't cripping like that. But I'm trying to make sure I can get this right. Oh, that's cool. What's up, people? I think I'm on here. Let me just double check. Ain't nobody here, anyways. Let me plug this phone in real quick. So I ain't cripping like that. But I'm trying to make sure I can get this right. Oh, that's cool. What's up, people? I think I'm on here. Let me just double check. Ain't nobody. Let me plug this. Okay. All right, man. I'm here. I got a little something to drink on, right? So, it's your boy Chef Bay, you know? I'm here. You're going to see me looking to the side a lot. I'm new to this, to a degree. I'm not new. I've done some live streams. I've done some things, but I'm trying to get my setup together. This channel that I have, if you go look at any previous content, most of it is random. Prior to today, I've been doing many different things with my life. But over these years, I've always kept up with many of the things going on in the world. And I knew at some point I had to put my voice out there to give not only my opinions, but at the same time bring some facts about what's really going on. There's a lot of propaganda in the world, lots of propaganda in the world. And a lot of times you don't even know what it is. You don't even know it's propaganda. And I can't be mad at most people for falling for the propaganda by a lot of the mainstream media or whoever. I get it. It looks very real. It looks, acceptable. The information that they put out there, the visuals that they show you on these news channels, and the reports that they spew out quickly for milliseconds of an issue that needs a lot more time to be elaborated on for people to really understand it. And that's one thing I don't really like in this country, and in many cases, is a lot of times the media will play these things or they'll say these reports, and it's the quickest report. 17 people killed in a mosque in blah, 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 and, such and such has been implicated, and we found blah, 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 and this and that, and it's just like, on to the next thing. And you may not think that that propagandist story that they gave you affected you or not, but a lot of people do eventually start parroting the things that they heard. A lot of people will tell you what they think about a country such as Haiti, and they ain't never looked nothing up themselves. They have never typed on a phone or on a keyboard the word Haiti, which just means that they ain't really looked up anything. They've been force-fed information about Haiti. You shouldn't even talk about it unless you've actually looked it up yourself. So I'm going to start to move on to start talking about what today's topic is. So today, we're going to be going and doing a little look into seeing who this Jimmy Chérizier is. Now, there's a lot of revolutionary leaders that I really, really, really look up to from years past in different countries. And a lot of those leaders were demonized in the mainstream media here in the U.S. And so that already, once I've learned the truth about many different leaders and I've seen the normal MO of the United States, that right there started to make me personally have a eyebrow, more than the eyebrow raised at anything the United States tells me. To be honest, I completely think it's false until I can find more proof of what's going on myself. So if the U.S. gives me a report and they say in Israel a drone strike killed 10 civilians or something like that, and they blamed it on, somebody from Syria, they blamed it or something like that, I'm going to want to look that information up. I'm not just going to accept it at face value. How do I know who sent the drone? How do I know it actually even happened if I didn't even see it blow up, right? And so what I'm going to start with today is really going to be starting with the propaganda, and then we'll move to the documentary. The documentary is a 3-hour documentary, so it's going to take multiple live streams. I would like for you to join me in watching this. That's what this channel, or at least part of this channel, is going to be about. It's going to be about watching documentaries and information with me, and we're going to slow walk these things and discuss them. Right? A lot of times when we watch these documentaries, I mean, we're watching them, but we're not as engaged. We pick up on certain things, and you know, it is what it is. But to have some really in-depth discussion about it, stop it at certain points and question things. Question everything. I'm telling you, if you're not questioning everything, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you're learning, right? So first thing I want to do. Now, first of all, they call him Barbecue. His name is Jimmy Chérizier. Jimmy Chérizier, okay? I don't know how to speak French like that, but that's how I feel like it would sound. Chérizier. Jimmy Chérizier, okay? And they call him Barbecue. Now, leave it up to the mainstream media here in the U.S. to make something bad about that. The word and his name is Barbecue. Not the word. His name is, they call him Barbecue. Now, he tells people why they call him Barbecue, but the mainstream media has made up their own information on why they call him Barbecue, or they've made their own speculation. Before I get into that, let's first pull up a CNN clip. So, to be honest, when you first come over to it, and when you first Google or YouTube Jimmy Chérizier, let's just do that real quick. When you first YouTube his name, right, Jimmy Barbecue Chérizier, you're going to start to get information about it. First things first, Al Jazeera, right? If anybody knows how some of this SEO works, a lot of the times the news channels have a higher domain authority, or at least higher channel authority. So a lot of times they pop up first. But Al Jazeera, Haiti's most powerful gang leader, talks to Al Jazeera. First of all, the headline is propagandist. Haiti's most powerful gang leader. When we move towards the documentary, you're going to see how he's not with the gangs like that. Now, he does utilize gangs in many different areas in order to unite them for a cause, but he is against gangs. But, and they know this, but they say the most powerful gang leader talks to Al Jazeera. The next one down, Haiti unrest. Gang boss calls on the U.S. to help overthrow government. Anytime that they are referring to somebody in the media with some type of negative connotation, some type of name of some sort, a dictator, a gang leader, a rebel, insurgent, you should have an eyebrow raised no matter what. Never trust these niggas, okay? And you're going to see me cuss and do many things on this channel, and nigga, it is what it is. I'm not looking to be monetized. I don't mind the support, but I'm not going to sit here and filter myself, because if I do that, I won't be real. But again, if you're listening to the mainstream media and you first hear them say a lot of denigrating words about a particular person without, and even prior to telling you even who that person is and what they're about, you got to raise a brow to it. You keep going down. Right here, NBC, UN considers sanctions targeting Haiti gang leader Barbecue. They won't even say his name, Jimmy Chérizier. They only call him Barbecue because when he was young, there was lots of Jimmys in his neighborhood. Now, this is his story. When he was young, there was lots of Jimmys in his neighborhood. And you had to try to differentiate one Jimmy from the other. He said some Jimmys would play soccer. They would call him Jimmy Soccer. Or some Jimmy would, cut yards. Maybe call him Jimmy Landscaper or something. But for him, his mom at the time sold barbecue. And they would make a living that way selling barbecue. So his name became Jimmy Barbecue. now the name barbecue should be something that only like friends and people, you know, call you, right? Like, oh, that's my dude barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Me as a newcomer, unless I come up to you, I know your name is Jimmy Chérizier, and then when I come up to you, instead of I hear somebody else calling you barbecue, I'm just like, oh, what's up with you, barbecue? That's disrespectful. But it's even more disrespectful that the mainstream media won't even say your name and they just put the word barbecue to try to put the way, and I'm kind of a spoiler alert, but what they try to say is his name was, he was given the name barbecue because he likes to burn people alive and grill people. You know what I'm saying? You don't see not one piece of evidence that he's grilled anybody, which I'm gonna show. But that's what they say in the mainstream media. So let's look here even more, okay? Let me switch this up for y'all so y'all can actually get a closer look to what I'm looking at here. So you keep going down, Jimmy Chérizier, alias barbecue. Oh, that's in a different. Let's go down. You can go down. That's pretty dope. You can go down. Vice News. In Haiti, gangs are killing with impunity. Haitian gang leader threatens to kill hostage missionaries. Okay, so as you can tell, all about gang boss, gang boss, gang boss, gang boss, right? So this man, if you're just going off of the information you just simply Googled and looked at on YouTube, instantly you're thinking he's a gang boss. You don't know that the mainstream media is propped up by Google. I'm a Google SEO expert. I can get websites to the top of Google. You don't know that certain websites have authority to be at the top. Usually news and usually news. And there's another one that's like one of the main ones, right? Major corporations, things of that nature. But news, very, very top. So if you have these mainstream news channels always getting top authority, and when you Google, we never go past the first page half the time for the results. So you're going to see the results that you see. You're going to believe what you see. And they know this, right? So this is why they do this. That's propaganda in the digital age. So we come over here. I'm going to go ahead and go to a particular video. Let me go to actually some videos that I've already kind of looked over. And let's see what I can get here. So we're going to start off here. Actually, I wanted to go to my watch later list. I'm sorry, people. You know, I'm going to get it down. I'm going to work it out. Work it out. What it is YouTube done kind of switched this up. And the last couple of days, the look has changed. Oh, watch later has changed. There it goes. So we're going to go to CNN. No, I'm sorry. UN considers sanctions targeting gang leader barbecue.
Tonight, the tables could be turning on the gangs in Haiti as violence and economic turmoil continues to plague the nation.
First of all, okay, they don't tell you what's going on in these visuals that they give you. Just show you as many. Had to make sure that was working. Just show you as many crazy visuals as possible. You don't know what protest. You don't know if it was a current protest, a past protest. You don't know who's protesting about what. You don't know which side is which. They just show you a bunch of unrest.
Tonight, the tables could be turning on the gangs in Haiti as violence and economic turmoil continues to plague the nation. The UN Security Council now targeting gang leaders and their supporters, considering travel bans and...
Look at the very bottom, okay? Now they're targeting gang leaders. It straight went to gangs, right? Didn't really tell you any information. There's big protests going on. But if you look at the bottom down here, it says UN considers Haitian sanctions targeting infamous leader barbecue. Okay.
And arms embargoes on anyone threatening the peace, security, or stability of Haiti. Sites like this becoming more and more common as frustration with the nation's high inflation and political turmoil boils.
Unemployment, the high cost of living, insecurity, it is for all these reasons that I
Gangs
am in the street.
gaining power over a nation trying to get back on its feet.
Gangs gaining power. They don't show you, they're not telling you what's going on in this new visual they just put up. Now it's just random people in some shaky, not shaky, well, shaky, blurry video as they narrate over it. That's propaganda.
After the assassination of its president, Jovenel Moise, last year. Speaking in Washington yesterday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said their efforts have been an uphill battle.
Big parts of the capital, other parts of Haiti, are actually controlled by gangs, not by the state. Ports.
When you hear them all say the same thing over and over again, you want to believe that that means this is truth. That's typically how they brainwash, saying the same exact thing over and over again.
Are blocked. Roads are blocked. So
he said roads are blocked. And as you can see, there's tires and fire. We're going to come back to that. It may not be today, or it might be today. It's in Vice. Because in Vice, I do see people carrying tires and gas, and they're about to start lighting them on fire. But Vice has you on one side of that argument compared to the other side of it. So who was actually doing the barricades who was actually barricading the roads with these tires?
some of the things necessary to deal with the cholera outbreak simply can't get to where they need to go.
Now, the United
Oh my gosh, they can't get cholera medicines and food, you know. So you think the U.S. is really that worried about cholera in Haiti? So much so that later you're gonna see a lot of travesties that's going on over there. The way that they're living and the things that they're deprived of and they don't have access to, you're gonna see that. And for these niggas that just harp on, they don't have cholera medicine. It shows what we don't understand is that is a cue to try to explain the reasons why they need people like Doctors Without Borders or some kind of missionaries or something over there in order to implant themselves over there to start enticing change. They implant themselves into a particular area, and in that particular area, right, they start to somewhat win the hearts and minds of the people, but in many cases doing that by lying or offering things, giving away food, this and that, seeming like you're the good guy, but then influencing those guys to do things against the others in other areas that might go better with the agenda that you're looking for.
United Nations Security Council also weighing in, their eyes set on Jimmy Chérizier.
Look at that. That was on the fucking Look at the picture they show you of this dude. That's propaganda. That's why I put that on the thumbnail. Jimmy Chérizier, there's times that people are gonna look like they're hardcore, right? If you're the leader and you trying to have this showing of power, like, yeah, I'm here. And that would be the video or the photo that they would decide to use. All the other photos of him being nice, smiles, worrying about the people, talking to the people, hugging kids. Don't worry about those. Look at this. He's got his lip bit. He's got a AK or whatever up in the air, one-handed light. He probably ain't got his safety button on and shit on the, you know what I'm saying? Just dangerous with his hat on and barbecue, Like, come on.
Also known as Barbecue, over the role his G9 gang has played in a blockade of Haiti's principal fuel terminal. A move that has dried up fuel supplies as the country already suffers from a water shortage due to a cholera outbreak that's putting 1.2 million children at risk.
Schools are closed, hospitals are closed, and farmers are having trouble bringing their goods to the market.
The United States stepping up and targeting those in support of gangs, leading to visa sanctions on 11 people. So
we're gonna do a visa sanction on them, guys. One, it sounds like more propaganda to you. It makes you feel like they're doing something. A visa sanction, as you're gonna see, these people aren't trying to travel to the U.S. What the fuck is a visa sanction gonna do? That's a lot of that fake we're doing shit, right? We took away their access to American goods and blah 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 and this and that. You know, sometimes they can be devastating for some countries, or some sanctions. Some sanctions. Don't get me wrong. Some sanctions can be devastating to countries, but to do a visa sanction on people who aren't traveling over here is just to add to the news, add to the propaganda story.
Far. And China saying it supports the UN's plan to sanction gang leaders.
Ooh, China said it too.
A move that could perhaps be a step toward more peaceful days.
And Stephen Rumwood joins us now here in studio. Stephen, thanks for joining Top Story. The UN announced earlier today that Haiti is seeing catastrophic levels of hunger. From your reporting, what are people there living with on the ground, and how is it connected to what you just reported?
Listen to the question.
Hunger. From your report, announced earlier today that Haiti is seeing catastrophic levels of hunger.
They're seeing catastrophic levels of hunger.
From your reporting, what are
From
people
his reporting,
they're living with on the ground, and how is it connected to
what are they living with on the ground?
what you just reported?
And how is it connected with what you just reported?
Yeah, these situations are sort of feeding into one another. That gang violence is compounding the problems of food and fuel shortages.
That gang violence has compounded the problem of food shortage. And first of all, you didn't say the gang violence was a problem of the food shortage, right? You didn't say the gangs are causing the food shortage. You said it's a compounding problem that Haiti is dealing with. Understandably so. But that still in itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's really just deflecting from the issue, right? Why do I say that? What does a food shortage got to do with gangs? If I have a food shortage, am I calling the police? No. The police has plenty of time to go deal with the gangs when there's a food shortage. They ain't got to worry about it unless they hungry and deprived of food. And they feel like they're just not going to be strong enough to go deal with the gangs. But a food shortage has nothing to do with what you're talking about in your report.
Those surging prices and supply issues have led to protests that have
The surging prices and price issues have led to protests,
also brought the country to a standstill.
And
And that chaos allowing the gang situation to become even.
And that allowed the gang situation to become even worse. So you're saying that because people are hungry and prices going up is causing gang violence to soar. And I can understand what you're trying to say is if people are trying to be like, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this no more. I'd rather just deal with the gangs and try to make a way that way. But that's not going to give you no food. If you hungry, who's hungry and says, let me join a gang? Unless every day you sit there and you see the fucking gang members come home eating it up, they just feasting it every day. And nigga, if you was to join, you'd be good. That ain't what happens. Like propaganda, it's talking points that you can quickly spew on a mainstream network that nobody will question and make it seem like there's a side to take.
Worse, the World Food Program says half the population is facing acute hunger for the first time ever.
Half the world's population is facing acute hunger, so I mean that's why there's fuel shortages. Everybody's hungry right now, right?
Many problems here worsening each other, and the situation just continuing to become more and more desperate.
A perfect storm that Haiti has been dealing
It's a perfect storm. Haiti has been dealing with a whole lot
with for so long.
for
Stephen
so
Rumwood,
long. And see, what we don't understand is how we will parrot what this food just said and what this food just said. Later on, I'll be out and I might mention something about Haiti. And they're going to be like, well, I mean, what do you mean they've been dealing with it for a while? You know, it's a lot of turmoil. The issues are compounded. You know, they got sanctions and, you know, the whole world's going through food shortages right now. So you just can't call these. Y'all parrot anything you hear and don't question it. Is there a food shortage? I don't know. I'm going to have to Google it and try to look up multiple different things to see if there really is and to see who it is affecting. I'm not just going to believe it, right? And even if it is, what they're saying is the issues in Haiti are caused by the world food shortage that just happened, but I can show you videos from 3, 4, 5 years ago of them saying the same shit when there was no world food shortage. So now it's the food shortage? Propaganda. Okay? So that's one, right? Kind of demonizing vilifying Chérizier.
He is one of Haiti's most powerful gang leaders.
He is one of Haiti's most powerful gang leaders. This lady's probably sitting in her house somewhere in Europe or England or somewhere eating a crumpet, saying this shit on a computer, dude. How do you know that he's one of their most infamous gang members?
Leaders and his threats risk plunging Haiti into deeper chaos.
His threats risk plunging when people have these very descriptive, harshly descriptive, doomsday-like words that they say before shit. The news does it all the time, mainstream news. You gotta have a side eye to it. They always want you to feel like it's the worst thing that's about to happen.
Jimmy Chérizier, a former cop known as Barbecue, heads the so-called G9 Federation of 9 gangs.
9 gangs. G9 Federation of 9 gangs. Later on, we'll find out. Yeah, somewhat it's gangs, but mostly it's strong, not even stronghold areas. It's different neighborhoods. Okay? And different people in those neighborhoods control those neighborhoods to a degree. Mostly you have, like, it's just like us, black folks. Niggas will be in their neighborhoods. Certain niggas control the neighborhoods to a degree, right?
In a new video address, he says his men would take to the streets to protest the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse.
Many people from the opposition and stinking bourgeoisie joined together to betray the president. It is a national and international conspiracy against the Haitian people.
It's a national and international conspiracy against the Haitian people, and that's what he was mad about, and we'll see it later. But what he's mad about, because he didn't like that president either. He was actually starting to protest to actually try to get him to resign, remove, you know, himself. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. National international conspiracy. So what happened was the president at the time, Moisene or some shit like that, Moisene or something, was killed, assassinated. He wasn't assassinated by a Haitian. He was assassinated by what they said was either 12 or 26 Colombians or something who were highly trained. We'll get to that. And from him, it's like it's a travesty that some other country was able to come in and actually kill their president and kind of shake up their country. They shouldn't be able, you know, that shouldn't have happened. That should happen in no country.
I ask all the gangs to mobilize, take to the streets. We demand explanations about the assassination of the president. We had a problem with the president, but we have never said that foreigners can enter our territory to kill the president.
Exactly. And the gangs that he keeps talking about. Now, yes, in a sense, they're gangs. But as we will find out later, Jimmy Chérizier was trying to unite these gangs, just like niggas tried to unite Bloods and Crips and whoever, but you know, in the day, you try to unite to come together for a bigger purpose. And that's what he did with different ones out there. But they make it seem like he's trying to get together with them on some other shit.
Moïse was gunned down before dawn on Wednesday at his Port-au-Prince home. Haitian authorities
Watch this.
say a unit of trained assassins compromising 26 Colombians and 2 Haitian Americans carried out the murder.
Look at this and tell me if this isn't propaganda.
Assassins stay at his Port-au-Prince home. Haitian authorities say a unit of trained assassins compromising 26 Colombians and 2 Haitian Americans carried out the murder.
26 people carried out the murder of one person at his place, and they have them all lined up. Do you believe? First of all, if 26 Colombians or 24 and 2 Haitians came over to assassinate the president. And they were highly trained. Right? First off, look at the dunce ass way they're carrying these people. Look at the dunce ass way they're carrying these people. Look at how Deputy Doodah they look. Deputy Doofus they look.
Trained assassins compromising 20
And I'm talking about the Haitian police and the Haitian army right here.
Colombians and 2 Haitian Americans.
Look how she just tosses them over there. And none of them look like 26 of them captured. None of them look like they've been harmed. But I got another thing to say.
The murder and the still murky plot behind it has caused further political instability in the long trouble.
So you mean to tell me that in today's time, where Haiti has very little technology, not a lot of closed caption CCTV cameras everywhere, not a lot of surveillance, there's not a whole lot of, it's probably hard to know where everybody lives, it's probably not a lot of electricity, and what I'm getting at is it would be hard to find one person who did a crime. Y'all niggas found all 26 of these niggas? All 24 Colombians, none of them decided to flee? And not only did you find them all, in a country where they can, when you're coming at it, and they're highly trained assassins. In a country where you have 24 highly trained assassins in a different country from where they were, none of them left, and on top of that, you was able to capture all of them without a scratch? You don't think at least one of these niggas would have tried to go out blazing? A highly trained assassin. Fuck it, I'll just take the Haitian prison. And you know that Haitian prison ain't a cool prison. This is the shit that I be talking about. Propaganda. These people may have been the ones to take out and carry that plot, but they probably were placed there. How did you get 26 people rounded up in a third world type country that plotted and they were highly trained? That does not happen. That's what I'm saying. It does not happen. It doesn't fucking happen here in the U.S. 26 niggas go and jack a fucking... 5 niggas to go rob a Nike store real quick and you won't even figure out who it was. Them niggas will be gone. You was able to round up 26 niggas? Highly trained assassins? If you don't think this is propaganda... And that was it. They showed you those clips of them being sat on the floor and that was it. Let's do this real quick. Let's Google the shit. 26 involved Haiti assassination. Haiti police say 26 Colombians. There's by The Guardian, CNN. Let's look at your CNN. A retired soldier claims 26 Colombian accused in Haiti assassination were actually hired to protect was actually hired to protect the president, right? After 26 Colombians were accused of assassinating Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, a retired Special Forces soldier in Colombia has told CNN that they were actually hired to provide the leader's security. Why would a leader hire Colombians for his security team in Haiti? Why? Exactly. And that he himself was approached for the job by a U.S.-based company. Matias Gutierrez, 45, told CNN that he was contacted in early June by a fellow veteran named Mendiesovo Gersain, who put him in touch with another man, retired Sergeant Dubernay Capador, recruiting a group of private security guards to travel to Haiti. How corrupt could you be as a president to get a group of people from a different country to be your security detail? You can't find 26 niggas in your own country to fuck with you. Cabador told the man he was working for the U.S.-based company and created a WhatsApp group to coordinate the recruitment effort. Gutierrez alleged the logo of Florida-based firm CTU Security was added as an icon on the WhatsApp group. Got to look that up. Actually, a little sleuthing. Look where I found that out of Florida. Y'all niggas gotta get on this shit. Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. America's greatest challenge has been long to unite people of different backgrounds into a single nation of justice and opportunity. It is time to listen and reflect as we go and hire people over in, Haiti to tell them to get, dude, about us, are you interested? I'm not gonna go through all this right now, guys. We're not gonna go through it right now, guys. But
for US and UN assistance. The US says it has no plans to provide Haiti with military assistance for now, while the request to the UN would need Security Council authorization. Chérizier says his followers will practice legitimate violence and that it's time for the masters of the system, business magnates of Syrian and Lebanese descent who dominate.
Business people of Lebanon and Syrian descent who dominate strongholds and large parts of the wealth there. First of all, I don't know how true that was. I don't even know if he even really said that. From what I remember him talking about is a lot of times it was different people. I don't remember him saying Lebanese and Syrian, and that could be propaganda just to kind of vilify them even more, because they are always vilifying Syria. I don't really hear as much about Lebanon, but definitely Syria.
Parts of the economy to give back the country. Some of the magnates had been at loggerheads with Moïse. Meanwhile, in a taped recording, Moïse's widow Martine, who was also wounded in the attack, accused shadowy enemies of plotting his assassination to thwart democratic change. She says her husband had spoken of dark forces behind years of unrest, rivals and oligarchs angry about what he called his.
All right, CNN witnessed Haitian gang violence from inside armored car. Very important right here.
Into the abyss in Haiti is fastest here. The one certainty is when the police SWAT team we are with cross into gang territory, they will take fire. It is now a blunt war for control of the capital. The police need to prove they can be here. The gangs, the police cannot.
One thing you have to understand is when you see antics, extra cinematics, dramatic explanations, dramatic narrations, real close-up photos of people cocking their guns and aiming and looking out windows, and he's talking like, I've been here for 3 days and the shelling has been blah, blah, blah. And like the way he's talking, he's not, I was kind of off with the way I said it. I didn't repeat it right. But the way he's kind of moving his voice slow and all this other stuff, it's propaganda. In order to tell a story, you don't have to have the extra. You don't have to sell it to me like a goddamn Hollywood movie. Okay? You got to tell me the story. What's happening? Where is it happening? Why is it happening? How is it happening? When? And that's what I don't like. And people sit here and y'all eat this shit up. Y'all eat up this MSNBC, this Vice News, this shit that gives you really dramatic visuals to engage you into their side of the story. We have to be better than that as a people. What I was going to say to that in contrast, which we'll see later, independent media typically doesn't do all that. Yeah, we do like, independent media does sometimes will like to get really great shots. You know, I'm pretty sure as a videographer, they're still like excited, like, oh my God, look at this shot. It's amazing, right? But what's more important to them niggas is telling the story from other people's point of view. Why? Not the narrator's point of view, because the narrator just showed up.
And it is ordinary citizens who are caught in between. Here, a passenger on a civilian bus that was hit in the street. And the days before, police said they'd rescued 6 hostages in this same area and killed a leader of the 400 Mawozo gang. The police struggled to hold ground, so the gangs, whose currency is kidnapping and drugs, are gaining far too much. Especially right here. Rounds hit the armored vehicle. They see where the gunmen are.
As of right now, it's a bunch of antics. Being inside the goddamn, I mean, you almost a minute and a half in on a 5-minute report, and all you shown is, I'm inside of a armored vehicle and they're shooting and we don't know what's going on. That ain't telling me nothing.
They slide back. Perhaps the gang have fled down the alley.
Still ain't said shit.
So many sites when they talk about empty spiral towards collapse.
They love to show themselves in the middle of fire. That's another thing. One thing I want you all to take away from this too is many things really, but how to spot propaganda typically. There's many different cues, but one I'm about to mention right now is just like what you saw. Lots of gunfire, and you'll see this guy, and he's in the middle of gunfire. Typically, if you're independent media, and all you do is care about getting the story, you're gonna avoid as much motherfucking fire and violence as possible. You don't want to lose your life trying to get the story. Then you can't get the story. And we'll see that later in the documentary that we're gonna go through, okay? But it's one of those things where what I'm trying to get across is this is extra stuff that people do on purpose to draw you in. They're right there in the action. They must be telling the truth. They're right there by the gunshots. They want to be by that shit. That's why they're traveling with the police and only showing you right now video footage from when there was finally some gunfire battles going on. And then you get, oh my gosh.
Change who's in control. Gangs are able to block main roads at will with trucks. And it requires a major operation to clear them. Gangs now often match or outgun the police. They have a bulldozer too, demolishing rivals' houses in one area, Cité Soleil. Locals fled at night.
They didn't show you that, but they'll just say it.
Matches in July that left over 470 dead, injured or missing, said the UN. As the G9
UN
expanded control, burning and demolishing.
G9 is just buried and demolishing.
Here, where a mix of flies and rain stopped them.
All these close-up shots. When you see so many close-up shots, and then the next thing like now you're gonna see them talking to the people. Now, if there's one thing that I was gonna say is a really good cue that you're watching somebody that's doing a good story, is a person who's allowing the people to talk. But these people here also know, the mainstream media, that they need to do the same thing. They let the people talk. In many cases, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes there's people that talk and they're telling their story, but they're twisting it, you know, or they're saying, "Oh, but the claims were not really. I couldn't really verify the claims." You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he's gonna go through here and start talking to people finally in this 5 minute and 34 seconds is what it gives you of his story in Haiti. I'm going to show you a 3-hour, 3-part documentary later about this whole Haiti story and break it down. But this nigga's trying to fucking feed it to you in 5 minutes and 34 seconds. 2 minutes of it, he was inside of an armored vehicle just being shot at. Now he's like, okay, let me send people to talk. They know the formulas. Get shot at, talk to some people, put some people, make them seem like they being hidden because they're scared, narrate over the whole thing. You'll listen to me.
To see where acute desperation can lead, we travel to where what's left of the government rarely treads. Don't be fooled by the beauty. There is no paradise here. Only hunger, heat, trash, and the business of leaving. Traffickers' boats out to the Bahamas, Cuba, Florida if you're lucky. And while these places are sending Haitians back in record numbers, the US Coast Guard is also stopping 4 times as many this year as last. These exits are what Johnny arranges.
If we die, we die. If we make it, we make it. I'm the one who buys the boat.
Close-ups.
$15,000. We're hoping to get 250 people for the next trip because the boat is...
All right.
Not everyone.
So, tomorrow, we're going to live stream the actual documentary. Maybe tomorrow or over the weekend. But what I wanted to first do is show the demonization, the vilifying that they're doing of barbecue, Jimmy Chérizier. I was going to actually go over part 1 of the documentary here today at the same time, but I've actually need to do something. So the main things I wanted to establish was how bad most of the media claims him to be. And that's what most people in their mind who have watched this stuff, who get questioned, they're going to parrot these same talking points. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you all different information to show you that you too can learn to spot propaganda when it's happening to you, so that way you can learn to find new media sources to look at. Like if you notice that CNN or MSNBC has lied to you a couple of times, you're kind of the one at fault if you're continuously watching them. If they've already proved to you they're liars. And don't get me wrong, it's not like they're fully lying. You know, if it says it's going to be 20 degrees outside and it's 20 degrees, they was right. If a murder happened up the street and there was some husband who killed his wife and they tell you about it, they was right. But when they also toss in some propaganda like Jimmy Barbecue or some stuff about anything else in between that, that's not right. But because everything else was right, you're going to just usher that into the right pile along with the rest of the information they told you. And that we cannot do. We cannot do it. whenever you start to repeat something or start to mention a place or a topic or something, and the first thing you should think is, wait a minute, have I typed this in anything and searched it, or am I only repeating things that were somehow fed to me through whatever means, through a show, through a movie, through a news report, through a something. We all have to be able to take the time to spot this shit and stop it. Because it's our complicitness, if that's a word, but us being complicit with it and allows for it to be perpetuated. Us being complicit with these things allows the U.S. and other people to perpetuate these things across the world because we as a people are not stopping them. So, thank you for joining me. Nobody joined me today, and that's because it's my first one, and nobody knows I fucking exist. And I'm cool with that. Your boy Chef Bay, let me come back here for you guys. Your boy Chef Bay tried to give y'all that real, you know what I mean, and tried to talk to you about Haiti. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk more about Haiti. We're gonna go over the documentary. We're gonna see who really is Jimmy Chérizier, Mr. Barbecue. Is he a revolutionary or is he a gang leader looking to take down Haiti and fucking kill and burn everybody and eat them off a grill? Who knows, right? I don't believe that he's anything crazy. But I've also watched a lot of things to know that you can't trust all of the propaganda that's fed to you, especially on mainstream media. We have to find our own media sources. Save those people and listen to them. People who have good morals and just really want to honestly tell a story. So, appreciate y'all, man. You might check this out later besides in the live stream. If you do, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. Am I crazy? Am I not crazy? I know I ain't crazy, but I'm going to show you more later to prove that I'm not crazy. Y'all enjoy.